especially on more open points where there's not a lot of spots to hide. Also, it seems like 100 Thieves are doing really good against this triple res comp. We saw it on Domination versus Envy, and they played so patiently. But
as we get ready for this first fight, the portal play off the rip here for Crimzo, looking to potentially kidnap, likely not, because they don't have the setup of mines. Instead, they're going to wall them off, the genius play, and try to force them off to that tight angle. And this is a really cool design here. Good play, but they are going to break right through those walls, but it forces the fight into that choke off the rip.
This is a better point, I think, for this triple composition as well. When we head to this one, they got a little lucky, I think, in terms of the map pool, because the 100 Thieves, I mean, they want to set up Delena on this Hella, and also, oh my god, TTK and a Crimzo. Delena finds Techie as well. Both Vanguards collapsed.
And that is a troubling start if you're looking for some love for Sentinels. 100 Thieves, that's going to be all of them as they're dropped for the reset. Techie is now up. The ready again, won't have portal, don't need it. Remember, 3-minute cooldown for that portal, so they don't need it just yet. It will be ready for the end of the map, likely as long as they can get in there and take this point back, 8% and counting. And they're going to take this fight to the choke right at the spawn door, as you should. If you get point this early, we talk about the success of the teams that get point first. It's typically more in their favor for at least that specific map. And Nectar in the off angle, trying to keep the pressure on. And here we go again, building up those charge. Aramori already at 99, ready to launch the bond. And it will come out soon as we see something from Terra here, who is ready with that Kraken impact.
Yeah, and Nectar goes down early. I mean, that forced out the res. Here it's met by the Eternal Bond, like you mentioned. Terra takes him away from it.
But the res comes through. Kurova will have res ready as long as they didn't use it. I don't think they did in the last fight. So that's one down, but immediately back. Numbers are even again. Remember, this res comp here for Sentinels, really strong for them. TTK up in the sky, waiting for the dunk. Bang! Does go down, but doesn't find value on the pick there. Good idea. Crimzo is going to fall now from Terra, who is popping off again on the Bucky. The Bucky just marking the off angles. Nectar trying to find some value here. Kurova going to use that res, bring the team back. Kurova, one of the best Adam Warlocks, if not the best in the game. Up we go again for Delena. That's just going to be burned. Nectar very low, though. Were they able to find that pick? No. Delena is going to walk them back towards their spawn, or at least into that tight angle below the point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I like this from Vinny, but to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the thing for Sentinels right now. I mean, it's not really countering much on 100 Thieves side, but we'll see what happens now as Nectar goes aggressive. It does pocket Nectar in the sky, though, like a Magneto would.
Yeah, I think that's that smart ban of the cap, right? It kind of messes with the brain a little bit. It's a cool ban out, and they clearly have respect for him with that play. Aramori going to start again with the Eternal Bond. There's Nectar's pick. They needed that. They need some momentum. 80% on the side of 100 Thieves, but right now, Sentinels do have the point. And here comes Nectar, Crimzo, and Kurova finding 3. Make that 4 for Amazing as the team does fall, and ult advantage will be even in this next fight.
And the respect towards Sentinel's hero pool has allowed them to play this. I mean, we've also heard from behind the scenes productions letting us know Iron Man's the first time they've ever been banned in Domination. I mean, it makes sense with how Ignite's been going. That character, you know, hasn't shown a lot of play, but I think for Sentinels, they really play well around Amazing on Iron Man. Now they come through aggressive with the sound introduction. Oh my god.
That is a scary one. TTK gonna find Amazing through that, though. Might have res up. Techie, that was a mean ult. Not able to find much purchase through it. Amazing is resed up, though.
Is back up in the fight, does have that soul resurgence in this way. So you gotta take rid of them multiple times 3, because Nectar also, actually he doesn't have that res. Kurova also doesn't have his up, so they're gonna be missing the Starlord this fight.
Are we going to copy up? Out goes that boundary, keeping the pressure on from 100 Thieves. They are at 80%, but still holding the point is Sentinels, who we do see Terra with a Kraken impact. Make that 2. Oh no! This could be detrimental. Will they? Oh, great work there from Aramori to keep the team healthy. That was dangerous, and they do follow up. Amazing is a mean Mantis, one of the duelists, not afraid to pull out the Mantis if need be for this composition. Plays Mantis like no other, but does fall there from Harvey, and they keep the pressure forward. Delena gonna keep raiding. Will there find value? Yes, Nectar goes down. Is the res up from the passive? We'll find out shortly. Keeping the pressure on in the sky. 99. Can they touch? They do not. 100 Thieves take point 1 in Domination. Odds of that happening, like you're saying, pretty low. So a risky play could have dropped back, but didn't matter as they do take point right now. Looks like ult advantage will still be for 100 Thieves. Nectar's going to be close for the Galactic Legend, but you got to know TTK is going to try to match that right now with the Meteor M. It does charge that up as long as Nectar chooses to try to make something happen, which typically he will hold on just to try to not give too much damage to that Meteor there, but they do start the next fight. TTK taking the space. Nectar, great positioning. Try to get collapsed on there by Crimzo, or excuse me, by Vinny. Ooh, Vinny is going to drop away. Good play there. Going to use that damage reduction onto the front line and keep the haymakers coming as Crimzo throws out the clobbering time. They find 1. Here comes the Meteor to counteract. The bond is out, and that's going to be difficult to find value with. They won't be able to. That's a great counter there again by Kurova. Here comes Nectar now. Out goes the invisible boundary. Good counter again, but no ults left for 100 Thieves as Nectar just keeps the damage raining.
I mean, Vinny's also going to pull back, so they will have 6 here. Meanwhile, here comes Aramori alongside Techie with a silent seduction.
Techie is a very strong Vanguard. Pulling that out is going to allow one pick there on a TTK. Nectar onto Delena. Now Sentinels have found their footing. Ult advantage will be on the side of Terra. Raimazing going to have the counter. Will he be able to use it? That Soul Resurgence to stop the Kraken impact. That is their best bet of not getting 5 or 6K.
Yeah, I think the difficult part for Sentinels is that they're trading 1-for-1 in ultimates. Now here an aggressive play goes on to the backline of 100 Thieves. SJP does match it. Here comes a big ultimate from Terra, but Kurova's ready with that res.
Wow. That's a big tough. Kurova with everyone, though. Will the bond come out to keep the team healthy? Yes. Almost again. What a turnaround onto Terra. SJP on a Techie, no. Trying to even the odds, but it is. Oh, good. It's TTK on a Raimazing now, and it looks like 100 Thieves are trying to hold on, still up in numbers.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, a force physics from SJP got Techie off the map, so that's so much pressure removed and brought back from that resurrect. I mean, that's the tough part of that coastal side is you can get pushed to push off the map. Excellent job from 100 Thieves backline.
That res is so tasty for the Kraken impact, but it did not work for the second time in a row, which honestly is a rare sight in ladder. But at this level of play, they know their cooldowns and they know when they have time to stop it. And that was beautifully well done there again by Kurova. Adam Warlock, so clean. And when you're at this level, when you're hitting those headshots, reducing that heal cooldown, you can play differently, just like he does. And they are trying to press back, but 100 Thieves right now trying to gain that percentage about halfway to them. Going to keep the pressure on. Aramori going to have ult here shortly. Crimzo trying to work towards that. No, the switch here. Going to get off the thing, and I think that's a smart decision. I know it's difficult sometimes to play Groot into that Bucky who can keep pulling you away from those walls that you're trying to set up.
Absolutely. I think that change up is going to help them, but this map is still so open. I mean, it's still favored towards 100 Thieves comp, and they have ult advantage now.
And here we go again. Aramori and Harvey both ulting with the Eternal Bonds. Harvey going to find Kurova, though, and that res will come back if need be. Harvey, great position here. The Loki might get 2. Harvey popping off and right back into one of the strongest Lokis. Really practice Loki. We talked about maybe not playing him as frequently recently just due to the fact that he's banned all the time. Harvey with 4. Make that 5. Harvey, are you kidding me with this Loki flank right now off of the Eternal Bond copy? Just built differently.
Yeah, absolutely is. I mean, Harvey, one of the best Lokis. It's interesting how often they switch up SJP and Harvey between roles. You know, definitely something unique about this team. Sentinels, though, they have ultimates still for this upcoming fight ship, so they have a chance. It's just really hard versus 100 Thieves comp. Both Vanguards with ultimates as well. Kurova's going to have to sit perfectly with this res.
Yeah, and we begin. This is the momentum. You know, this is where you start that momentum push. You start the wave going. You want to win early on, so the pressure starts getting off your shoulders a little bit. Play a little less. Drop down a little bit. Nectar on the hike and matched by Crystal and the Meteor Ram. TTK onto Kurova right to the dome. What a throw there right after eating a bit of that Galactic Legend. Oh, that's unfortunate with the fall right after almost getting a few in the trance and returned right back. Terra gonna try to make a play off of that clobbering time. Nectar finds SJP though, and now Crimzo and Nectar cleaning that up, and well done again to shut down that Kraken impact.
Yeah, what a carry there from Crimzo and the Vanguards on that front line to stay alive, considering that was so bad. I mean, Kurova getting picked without the cocoon. I mean, that's going to be so difficult to stay alive in that fight as well, because you just need that resurrect for the upcoming fight. Right now, they have the res still available. They also have Aramori Stratus ultimates alongside Crimzo with a huge Trailing Prison that's available. So, I mean, now they're back in the advantage, and with 63% on the board, I'm feeling good about Sentinel's chances.
Yeah, they're in a good position here, and they do have ult advantage just slightly. As we see Crimson with the Strangling Prison, this could be huge. Crystals go out, spin to win here, trying to get some ult charge. Nectar already at 70%, almost falls there, and yeah, Crimzo does. And that's the difficult side of that invisible boundary. You get slowed, it can be aggressive. Terra finds Techie. Now they're heavily up in numbers. We might have to see a TP back. Out goes Kurova, falls here from SJP, and now they are very low. Raimazing takes the Lena, though. Good pick there by Raimazing. Nectar and Raimazing trying to hold with all their might for the teleport back. Kurova comes back with the res, though. Kurova does have that rest for the team. They want to retake. They're still holding on to this point.
Yeah, but Kurova's dead. I mean, he's been so focused by 100 Thieves. They find him every time ship, and now, I mean, they have to clutch up with his Guardian's ult in Nectar.
Yeah, and this could be what they're talking about with these unique strategies. But Raimazing with another pick on a Harvey. Techie onto Terra, and they just keep bouncing back even after those picks. Techie onto TTK. Can they shove through and push this to map 3? Crimzo go. On the Strange with the teleport. The Strange gets matched on the opposition. Now it is behind them, but Kurova with a two-piece. Do I see more? The king of the hit scan strat. Will we see another again? Holding on, and there goes Terra, and that should do it. And they do return as Sentinels pushes to map 3. During that one that he fell, almost got 4 in that trance, and that kind of value, allowing your team to focus, especially at this level with this kind of team play. Any sort of trance like that with that psionic seduction for a moment is so invaluable. Here we go with the next fight. Delena gonna press forward. They are gonna own this space here. Hella, this is a very good Hella map with that height on the off angles. You can find 3 different points of view here and retreat back into those cave systems. Nectar gonna ult up. Meteor M gonna eat some damage. Thrown back down. TTK finds no one. Nectar holding on. Does have that bond. Bond gonna keep teams healthy, and this is an aggressive play. The mini stun from Delena, so clean as Nectar goes down. Kraken impact hitting the entirety of the team. Nectar reses up, though, numbers even, and there it is again. The 4Ps walk. Do they get value off it? Yes, they do. Techie is different here on this Emma. Strangling Prison to clean up, and will they proceed, or will this turn back on the side of 100 Thieves, who do have ult advantage? Out goes another strategist ultimate with that invisible boundary.
Oh, SJP pushed off the map for Amazing. That means he can't get brought back by this res, right? So it's just Aramori brought back into the fight. Right, Rising, he does come back into it, so that's just a passive, obviously. Regardless, Sentinels now on the point. Everybody together. They pushed off 100 Thieves for now, but they're still kind of anchoring here.
Yeah, I mean, how is this happening? Well, these teams are so good. You just see this level of play, even being down numbers like that. Just the perfect utilization of cooldowns. Nectar, you can see the spin there. They are different on that ult charge already, having an ult again.
Yeah, Nectar's been so good on the Star-Lord for sure enabled, but now Harvey, they found Amazing again, does have that self-res, so every time they pick this Mantis, it seems to be just alive forever.
Amazing with the self-res coming in. Terra going to use that Q, the final judgment. A very strong hit scan player in general. Obviously, Terra known for having a vast hero pool, hero ocean, if you will. Up in the sky we go. TTK eating some of that Galactic Legend and throwing it right back down on Amazing, who no longer has that res. Nectar turns it back on TTK, though. Numbers evened out. 1 strat down, though, for Sentinels, and 1 Vanguard down for 100 Thieves. Ult advantage heavily on Sentinels, but what do you know, folks? Nobody still has the point.
I mean, it's just Warrior Falls. This is the map where nobody wins. Counterpoint by Techie now coming through, needing the healing. Does get it. Also connects on so many people with Psionic Seduction. And now coming back in, Amazing. Kurova has yet another ultimate.
Wow, this is so crazy to watch, dude. Finally, Sentinels get the point here. Amazing finding Vinny. I love to see an aggressive Mantis like this. Amazing, a very strong, duelist player in general, but pulling out, typically you want your duelist on the Mantis when you're running Guardians comp, because Mantis is a very strong damage dealer as well, and the damage boost. You got to be kind of all over the place with what you're doing at the same time with great focus. And we do have a reset fight here. Terra gonna pop this ult again. What do you know? The next fight already having this ultimate. Final judgment goes out. Does it find a pick? Yes. Nectar goes down. Do I hear 2? No, as the map breaks here, and we will see a different structure. Nectar gonna res back and immediately take out Terra. Oh my goodness, these fights are so back and forth. Harvey gonna come in with the Eternal Bond. No ults here for Sentinels besides Kurova, who's ready to res up and hold on. And here it is again. You're gonna see him immediately walk forward. Knows exactly what he's doing on this hero, just to use that beacon. Oh, what a play here. Again, SJP gets a 2-piece push off the map there.
Yeah, I mean, this ultimate from Delena, perfectly timed onto Kurova. I mean, his ult just a little bit around the corner, but it's like, where else are they going to really go? And these fights are absolutely insane. So long right now, 100 Thieves. They do have the invisible boundary ready to go. Sentinels, yet again, with that Groot ultimate. I mean, you can find the eliminations even through the invisible boundary if you time your damage boost right and if you have enough people kind of blasting. So right now, rotations from 100 Thieves trying to get away from Sentinels. They've just been out-rotated right now, so perfect movement from 100 Thieves. We'll see if it pans out for them in this fight.
And I mean, I think I'm with you. I do think the goddess ult, when you see that res, is actually very impactful. Just the raw burst damage is so difficult to press through. Here we go again from the height. Great turret placement there. Look at Terra's ult charge in that turret already. Back in almost 70, gained 20% in milliseconds there. Nectar gonna find. Oh my goodness, Terra goes down. Harvey Crimzo gets one. Techie on a Vinny. Delena on a Amazing, but that doesn't matter. The res comes up. Ooh, Delena with that pick is gonna bring Harvey back, but that's ultimately just a stagger there as Nectar cleans up Harvey. And Sentinels at the point again, roughly even on this percentage. These teams are so well matched.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the difficulty of playing against this triple res Guardians composition, is every pick you get, I mean, it doesn't really matter if they just self-res, if they find one back. And every time 100 Thieves lose somebody early, I mean, that is so detrimental because you're not going to be able to bring anybody back in this fight. I mean, I think reses in general have just been constantly improving. We've seen even Rocket Raccoon on the other side of the world with those BRBs. Right now, it's working out today because Kurova will be back in this fight again.
Yeah, and these picks, man, you got to keep your eye on that feed. You got to know that it's still even. Maybe a little tricky to keep track of. A ton of damage goes out there, but no value on the pick. Instead, potentially just healing up the backline as SJP has ult here. Harvey does as well. TTK trying to find a Meteor M, doesn't there. And here goes Delena again in the sky. Looking directly at the backline, immediately burned out, but does find our Mori. SJP, TTK gets 2. Delena gets 1, and here comes the res again. They cannot get back to the point in time to hold, but they're already at 88%. Just going to reset as a team.
Yeah, reset, wait for also Rymazing to build up towards another Soul Resurgence. That's going to be a difference maker in this fight. Can 100 Thieves find a pick as they walk in, as those cooldowns have been forced, as the reses are gone, and how many passives are up on the Guardians comp? We'll see what happens in this fight. 100 Thieves need a pick early.
Okay, the pressure is on. Sentinels halfway through grabbing this point right back. Out goes the clobbering from Vinny. Does it find value? It does under Rymazing. Great ult there. From the backside of Sentinels, Aramori going to use that Eternal Bond. We now have Rymazing who just finished up with that ult and dashing right onto the back line. It's a great combination there with the wall behind. It will consistently smack them. Techie with a ton. Trance there as the team cleans up. Will they be able to grab this point back? Teleport play is going to need to come through. Can they clutch up? His ult advantage will be in the side of 100 Thieves in this next fight, though.
Terra's first bond, he has to give up his ultimate. They're going to have to come back. Delena's now over to the Punisher. He had to give up the final judgment. Doesn't get here in time. It's about to. 1 second off. Can they get there? Yes, overtime pops.
That was just picture perfect timing right there. Frame perfect. Up goes TTK. Doesn't land. Techie finds Delena. 1 number down. And that is going to keep Nectar trying to pull out the Galactic Legend, looking at the back line, dealing a ton of damage, but the bond is out, does not do much. Instead, is going to just be just damage for nothing. Going to spin to win here shortly. You'll see a ton of all charge gained back. TTK now has the point. 100 Thieves very close to owning this, but Nectar just dancing on and holding as the team does retake. Crimzo is down there. Nectar gets Harvey. Numbers are even. Down 1 Strat for 100 Thieves. Down 1 Vanguard for Sentinels. Crimzo will teleport back, though, so the team will be able to retake. Great bond there, but will it be enough? No. As Tara finds Aramori, Vinny on a Kurova, Delena on a Rymazing. The teleport should come through any second, though, as we did see Crimzo hold on. Good play.
Wait, they're still trying to win it. I mean, they still have the point back, by the way. Rez is coming back through, and oh my gosh, Techie as well.
He's him.
Shuts down TTK and Vinny.
Yeah, he's him. No, that's just different. Again, Techie just finding so much value. They left this open for Techie, potentially sleeping on the power of this Vanguard, who does not relent at all. And Sentinels will now take map 1.
Re-encounter the group composition. So Sentinels don't really play Wolverine anymore. I mean, you could say, you know, who's on the bench of Sentinels? You talk about Super Gomez. He's on defense first. That's why.
Okay, but they still will have... No, yeah. They're going to have the res comp here. Krover on Sentinels on defense for sure. But yeah, 100 Thieves, they will elect to keep a very similar comp they ran last game. Oh, maybe works better. Wow, Delena, but that is going to be res right back. Don't forget. Yeah, as Nectar is back in the fight. They do a great job on off-angle pressure, and they will not have that bubble, right? So it's more difficult to get a ton of value. But what a unique Vanguard lineup here with Crimzo on the thing. And then you've got Techie out there on Emma. No major shield tank, as TTK will be running that Magneto.
Yeah, they've sort of banned out the hero pool of Crimzo, and I think that's a smart play from Captain Puerto Rico over on that side. Also immediately met Terra into Crimzo's face. This is what I was talking about, Chip. I do feel like Bucky does a great job at countering the thing, but on the backside, Rymazing trades it.
What a sleep there by Rymazing to turn that right back. Nectar with a nice shot there to SJP, getting rid of that invisible. Oh, excuse me, no, because it was a res. It actually stays up there. Just kidding, it wasn't a copy. It was Harvey's ultimate there for the copy. Excuse me. So that's why it stays up, even if you go down on Loki. If you use that invisible boundary, it actually will stay up, which is a little known fact there. Rymazing got a res back. Sentinels still healthy. Full team up, holding on defense as the portal comes through from Techie.
And Crimson's now over to that Emma, so they just got to have that Emma out there. And Techie, meanwhile, in that Doctor Strange, they're going to use the Soul Bond, go aggressive with the damage boost, blasters, build that ultimate like you'd like to talk about, Chip.
Terra with a nice shot there, and that's 2 as Rymazing goes down. Shouldn't have the res up now. Vinny going to take out Crimzo. Terra and Kurova has the res, excuse me. No passive res, but a team res up here for Warlock. So well played again. Great positioning. The team will be able to touch instead of electing to run that Vanguard front line. Just know that you can just come back with one of those reses instead and guarantee 3 fights. Out go TTK. On Aramori after the ult, and that is a ton of value. There is Nectar, though. Finds Delena even through crystal placement. That's going to be a pick. Will they be able to come back and find more value out of the back line? Yes, they do. SJP so low, no. And they're doing the strategist dance there. Look at each other, heal each other up, and unable to find value. Great work by the back line of 100 Thieves, who now take out Techie in the front and have a better chance of getting this point as the portal is gone.
Yeah, the portal is gone. I mean, that was the only way that TTK and 100 Thieves win that fight is if he hits that dunk from across the map onto Aramori. There's no bubbles because they banned out the Magneto to save Aramori, unfortunately. So she just tried to kind of go as far as possible away from that meteor because, I mean, they didn't have Stratus ultimates. They do have Loki greens, which are honestly an ultimate in their own right. Same thing with Soulball on the opposite side for Kurova. But regardless, 100 Thieves, they needed TTK to hit that shot on the Meteor M, and he does it. Sentinels pretty much wiped after that as well because part of that Meteor M countered out Nectar's ultimate.
Yeah, I can't stress how clutch that was, right? It's not only value for the pick, but value for the cancel of ultimate to Lena again under Amazing. Will that res be up? We're not sure yet. And Nectar goes down from Terra. Crimzo here on the Emma this time. Trying to look for the backline as Techie is now on the Strange. Nectar gets res back. Here comes Armin Dangerous. The Kraken Impact looking for one. Gonna go inside of this invisible portal, trying to get the pick, but no, inside of that Dagger Storm stays healthy. Is the pick in time? Kurova goes down. Nectar goes down. Aramori, Crimzo, the entirety of 100 Thieves sweeping here with a ton of time on the clock. 3 minutes 16, pressing through this first angle.
I wonder if this will update something else. It looks like Crimson's hovering the thing. He's going back over. They want Techie back onto the Emma Frost because he did so much in the previous round. Crimzo, I don't know if he's as practiced on the Emma Frost, considering he does play that Cap. He does play that Emma. I know he played the Groot. So because he was playing on that Emma, it was not allowing Techie to be on that hero, which he can carry incredibly hard with.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be Final Fight territory if they can get this pick here for 100 Thieves. TTK goes up again with the Meteor. That's a great placement of a shield there, right into the wall, weaving it in the door frame. Doesn't matter. Nectar out goes Invisible Boundary to counter that. Sentinels heavily up and alt here. Will they win this? They do. Amazing with an early pick onto Lena. That should be enough here, as they do have ult advantage. They might be very smart. They're not going to overcommit here. Armori holding on Kurova as well with Amazing getting ready. They have a ton of strats ready to counter up should anything happen, but Vinny finds Nectar. Will that be enough to sway them in the opposite direction? And shouldn't. At this point, they're held back towards their spawn.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe Kurova would try to pop the ultimate, but now here comes a counter engage with that Armed Dangerous. The Kraken Impact. Rye goes down. Crimson goes down. Does that call out the res from Kurova?
Yep, here it is. And this is another one of those Kraken Impact moments. Will they counter back? Everyone gets hit. Can they find the value? No, just gonna have to drop back. Good idea there again by Terra, but not able to get much. That's the third time. Goes to show you how strong these backlines are at keeping their team healthy even through those reses.
Yeah, this is why you save another ultimate after that ultimate comes out from Kurova. You need to have another strategist ultimate, but now into this fight, they need to rely on Soul Resurgence, which Nectar falls down, and here comes a clobbering time under Amazing.
That is going to be huge. Delena goes up. Harvey going to counter up and use that strat line. Vinny going to find Amazing again. SJP with the Invisible Boundary. Terra trying to find one on Kurova. Techie goes down. Terra gets 3. Crimzo make it 4. Do I see 5? Terra, oh my goodness, sweeping the entire team and shoving them to point 3.
I mean, this targeting banning Crimzo's hero pull, forcing him onto the thing, is panning out. I mean, Amazing is finding those picks. He's able to find the eliminations on the Mantis. It's awesome to see the Mantis do that when they can, because, you know, it's similar to, you know, a duelist role where you need that Mantis to sort of find those picks. But right now, Crimzo on the thing, I feel like it's sort of soft countered, if not hard countered by Terra on the Bucky. I mean, this character counters Hulk, also the thing, incredibly well.
And there we go again for the off angles, and Sentinels got to find their footing here. 100 Thieves really want to match this up, make this a 1-1 series. TTK out of Techie here, still pressing forward. That's a nice start. Numbers in their favor. Vinny on to Crimzo. Aramori going to use that bond, and the dunk again. TTK 2 for 2. Aramori cannot escape these as they don't have the bubble to keep her healthy. Crimzo trying to use that damage reduction from Thing prior, but not able to get there. That is your only bet in countering up this Meteor. You need to hit prior to the dash, but once again, another throw there by TTK from downtown, a half-court shot, and just landing every time.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're coming back. Incoming Nectar in the sky, and everybody's kind of grouping up, making sure they can play in these Loki greens to stay alive. We gotta re-engage now.
And Nectar on height here. Gonna keep the numbers even, but 100 Thieves heavily up in ult advantage. SJP slowing the pace here. Remember, difficult to engage through that boundary because it does slow the opposition. Terra gonna drop back into the boundary, stay healthy. Good bubble there again by TTK, who's playing lights out in this map right now. And Vinny gotta show love to the damage reduction on virtually everyone in all, as Harvey is gonna match that invisible boundary again. There will have Kurova's res. Crimzo uses the clobbering, but it gets matched right back by Vinny. Do they find value through? They do. Port again goes up. Will the team be able to touch in time? Nectar, Amazing, everybody right in front. The bond's gonna come out here for Crimzo. Will they be able to touch? It is in a dangerous position. Back and forth, the res again on Crimzo, and they're back and healthy somehow. But Vinny finds 1. Terra finds 2. Do they keep it going?
They do. I'm surprised Aramori actually went for the copy onto that Mantis, because now that ultimate's about to run out. Maybe they could have used it on Kurova to bring everybody back in this fight. We've seen it done in EMEA, but right now Terra is going insane. The follow-up damage is here now from 100 Thieves. The Kraken impact as well is out from Terra.
And Kurova with the self-res, right? Amazing with the self-res. Harvey finds Nectar. Harvey getting a lot of these picks in the neutral. Techie going to take out Terra. That's a good pick there, but it's matched right back by Aramori and Harvey again, who is just popping off here with the raw damage from those Loki clones. Remember, please burn those clones when you have 3 of them out. It is so much damage and burst potential and healing burst. TTK trying to build back to that ultimate, only 29%, but Delena here doesn't even need it as they push through and take a full 3 points here for 100 Thieves. Trying to match it with their defensive triple. No, they're not. Electing to keep it 2-2-2 and hold at a distance, just trying to keep up this pressure that they are providing, because it is gross right now.
Slightly off topic, but what do you think about Ghost Rider coming in and changing the payload? Like, what if they become like Demon Goats or something, you know? Just off topic, a little bit slight change of pace right now as 100 Thieves on their defense, playing a similar comp that they did earlier, Ship.
I think Ghost Rider was the most voted for early on in the Discord, for the Rebels Discord. If you haven't joined that Discord, definitely check it out. So that is, potential for Ghost Rider to be a sick hero for sure. Even one of his maps, like you're saying, bringing you down into hell. Maybe you'll see something like that for the payload. Good idea. Kurova gonna res back. Those Sentinels are starting to have some pressure. Bond, when you see those little circles around the allies, you know to back up. Don't try to take that trade. It is very difficult unless you're Emma, because you actually gain laser charge for everyone when you land on somebody. Little known fact, if someone plays a ton of Emma, if you see Bond up, try to just use that laser to get an instant 100% charge, which does deal double damage. As they press forward, we're going to see ults match on both sides. Nectar going to get rezzed up. Crimzo on SJP, and that's a 2-piece, and that does drop through the ultimate, so well played. Techie is going to find Harvey, and that is a good start again. Sentinels looking really clean, finding 4. Will they keep the pressure up, or will they be able to touch?
Yeah, this change to the Doctor Strange has been massive. They'll be a TP back. It's actually a P TPing back, though. So kind of interesting that you would make your support do it, but regardless, he was the first one to die, so kind of makes sense. 5 minutes now in the second phase of the map, and this change to Doctor Strange off of the thing has been perfect. The double shield now is out there because you have Techie and his shield alongside Crimzo and his, so it's a little bit harder for Terra to chew through all of that. Also, same thing for Delena. So I think this slight change is going to help them a ton, as we see Doctor Strange players usually do a lot better, I think, in this tournament than in tournaments past because of those changes that happened recently to this kit.
And 100 Thieves will have ult advantage. As I say that, Nectar gets ult, pops it immediately. Techie, no, I lied. Everyone on Sentinels will have this right now. Right, amazing. Only one off here. Terra going to be there for the Kraken impact shortly. Delena, Harvey, Vinny ready to launch ults. We do see Sentinels press in. Techie, oh, clobbering time. Tries to get a few to walk into it. Doesn't find that much value, though, unfortunately. Great match back there to the side of Harvey on that copy. Well played. Kurova reses. Techie finds 1. Terra finds 1 on Crimzo. Both sides getting pieced up. Terra, all right, amazing. Finds Harvey now. Not even sure whose numbers are up from these reses. Delena going to take out Aramori. And the res back for Harvey. And that is one of those slept-on team-ups. You see Crimzo gets 2, though. On the Strange, make it 3. Crimzo showing up here. Right, amazing, makes it 4. Wow. Sentinels are matching this with 4 minutes on.
Yeah, I think 100 Thieves are going to look at changing something in this third phase. So, I mean, this swap, just to putting Crimzo on to that Doctor Strange. Also, they use the portal, so it's not going to... Oh, and they get portal block. So, catch you later. See you in the third phase of the map. Wait, they made it through, though. Some of them, they're actually coming back with the Eternal Bond. And last second, they're touching the objective.
This is insanity. These teams are playing so smooth, so back and forth, and I do agree that I think that switch from Crimzo is huge. Bagamoto ready to launch. Will it be big here? No ultimates for 100 Thieves. It is all about this eye here. Crimzo using the jump technique. Tries to get a few. Does manage to knock a ton of souls out. Great crystals there, though, by Harvey to keep the team healthy. And that's what I'm talking about, using that ceiling. When you use your dash upward with Doctor Strange, propels you forward. It's very difficult to counter that. So well played.
Yeah, right now they're trying to win, actually, though. Coming back to the point, I mean, everybody falls. Rez not available for Kurova, unfortunately, so he's back in the fight. Going to go down immediately, and the Kraken impact, that last second touch was huge from the Eternal Bond.
Did I just see that was 7 for Terra. Are you joking? Goodness, off the reses, just keeps it going. 100 Thieves are never down and out. 11 seconds, or excuse me, there's a ton of time on. Excuse me, looking at the wrong clock here. 2 minutes 40 on here. They do have ult advantage in the next fight, roughly even, but Sentinels will have Techie, Kurova, Aramori, Nectar, and Rai in this next fight, as Thieves will have potentially Delena, Harvey, Vinny, and TTK.
Nectar's passive popped as well, though, so he's going to have to get brought back by Korova. And after that, TTK just sucking up some of that damage, coming back through. 100 Thieves also having Vinny onto the Captain America gives them yet another Stratus ultimate, basically.
And they're walking in now. Techie trying to get this up. A big ult, but it does get matched by the side of Harvey, who is finding a ton of value, and it is not getting shut down by these Eternal Bonds with no Magneto on the field. So gives more freedom to play aggressively with that ultimate as they do press forward. Nectar going to start spinning with Bond out. But it won't last long as every ult is matched, and Sentinels just not able to get too much. We do see Terra launch that Kraken, but it does not land. The fish was not pulled in. The Kraken stays in the water. SJP going to use that ult here. Eternal Bond Techie finds Delena. Vinny on to Amazing. SJP matches it right back, though. Who comes out on top? It looks like 100 Thieves will as Terra pulls back Techie into the fight.
Well, this is the problem as well with the Adam Warlock against specifically Cloak and Dagger. The only reason why Korova went down there without his passive is because who's on his face? It's Cloak and Dagger. SJP across the map, yeeted towards Korova. And unfortunately, because Korova went down, they didn't have a res play for that fight. Now coming into it, 100 Thieves did use a lot of ults, but they do have Meteor M as well before Nectar has his own solo ultimate. So they're just going to play slow. They might as well. I think this pick of Vinny swapping over to that Captain America has resulted in a lot better of a defense from their side.
Yeah, I mean, again, Sentinels up an ult charge here. Going to be close as Terra's cracking impacts have found so much value again on the defense. 55 seconds, though, as time is ticking away. Crimzo, another chance at a big Eye of Agamotto, but a great Harvey just doing a great job with these crystals. Nectar, that's a huge early pick onto Delena on the off angle. Great positioning there and great die potential with that blaster barrage. Terra goes up. Here it begins. Great combination onto Techie with the Meteor Ram, and that's how you do it, folks. Diving towards the back line, make that 2. Oh my goodness, not again. 3 for Terra, who cleans it up. Will we see more? The team gonna res back from Korova, and the whole team is healthy. They will have Aramori to keep them in. Amazing as well, and this is looking now towards Sentinels. As the Eye of Agamotto goes out, doesn't get much. Aramori cleans up Terra. Delena turning that right back on Aramori, though, as the numbers are still up for actually Sentinels, excuse me. There goes that Psionic Seduction. That's 4. Can they get anything off it? No. A great bubble there by the Cloak SJP. The Dagger Storm keeping everyone healthy again.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sentinels didn't get to kind of stagger the ultimates. Aramori has to now come back, save everybody with the Eternal Bond. They will be up in terms of that ability, so maybe they can take advantage of it as well. As Harvey finds Techie. Oh no, Crimzo's down as well. Amazing's back in the fight, but they lost Nectar as well.
Terra finds 3. Delena gets Aramori. Nectar on the res, but this is not going to be enough, folks. 100 Thieves are looking like they're going to shut this down on point 2, a very defensible position, and they take map 2 to even it up. Damage, so gonna see that change up here. That was kind of a bait there, pretending like they were gonna run that Guardians, but now Amazing gonna be able to get up in the sky.
100 Thieves swap over to that Captain America and that Psylocke. I feel like their dive should be theoretically stronger, but also the Iron Man got through too. So a lot of interesting dynamics happening right now between the hero pools.
Sentinel's gonna pull out the Iron Man of Amazing, not gonna run that torch. Aramori gonna be on the Loki here. We have Techie on the Venom. Haven't seen much of that yet in this series, but we will have more of a divey and annoying comp. Try to turn eyes backwards so Amazing can put that laser on the back line, and here comes Techie off the rip. Can they collapse with Nectar? Terra bring out Nectar, immediately say goodbye. Down goes 1 as 100 Thieves are up.
And this is what Terra got warmed up to in the last series, what we saw. I mean, Terra on that Bucky countering out Psylocke players. So that's what you got to see out of 100 Thieves. Also, this Venom takes a little bit longer to kind of set up than Cap, right? Cap can kind of go in, jog around, just be a maniac. Here comes the swing in from Venom, but it's very obvious he's just trying to set up on that backline flank.
Yeah, and they're going to reset as a team. Amazing just trying to build that already. 80% here. A quick game there. The most in the series so far. Most in the game, excuse me. Amazing keeping that laser up onto Cap. Cap struggles with that laser, honestly. It's very difficult to keep the shield up. Delena, though, going to find Nectar again. Nectar down twice. Terra takes out Techie. This dive is not finding purchase with Terra on the backline ready with a pull.
Here comes Max and Pulse. The greens are up, but oh no, it's dodged, avoided. Sentinels lose that ultimate. It's hard to use it though, so I don't really blame Ryan for whiffing on that ult. It happens on that character because, I mean, it's honestly one of the hardest ults to use in the game. You just stand still for a second and then you shoot off a one shot. So everybody just kind of walked away on 100 Thieves' side. Well played by them. Every ultimate in the game up on their side as well. Amazing now over to that torch, thinking that's going to be a little bit better for them. But right now, I like 100 Thieves' chances. Their situation is looking very good.
Yeah, likely why you saw Rai use that ulti at a little bit more range. A lot of the time when you're playing Iron Man, you want to use it close to the ground, not give time to react. We did see the cloak there, actually, by Harvey that brought the team away from that ultimate. It was a big save there, good positioning, and just natural play, just understanding what could happen as Rai Amazing now going to be on the torch, dealing a ton of damage to the front line. Terra going to try to get a pull here onto the back line. It's so difficult. He's just countering dive. He's going to sit on that back line all game, knowing that they're running that Psylocke and just try to mark up in the sky we go. Will it land here from Crimzo? Bang! It does! Great patience. Techie onto Harvey, and that's two. Sentinels now finding their position, their pace, and they're keeping the pace forward with the dance of the Cutterfly here from Nectar.
Yeah, and this is kind of why I like the Captain America ult a little bit earlier against the Meteor M, just because you get a little bit of overhealth. You can maybe sometimes live that Meteor M. Now Nectar's able to find SJP, so right now Sentinels are getting that ball rolling.
Yeah, that's a nice pick for Nectar there. They are almost at 2 ticks, but the teleport comes in. Nectar again on a TTK, though, and that is a 2-piece. That puts numbers up. Harvey going to pull out the Bond. Will it be enough for them to hold being numbers down? It is. They are going to retreat and reset with a minute on the clock on point 1. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane. A minute left on the clock. Rai Amazing pops the Supernova. Stelena on the back line does use an ultimate as well. Both of the Lokis using those greens to stay alive. This time Rai finds Vinny.
Nice, man. Good work there by the team of Sentinels. 2 go down. Nectar on a heady. There goes Rai Amazing on a TTK. Nectar again. Rai Amazing again. Back and forth with a 3-piece. Rai Amazing make it 4. Why not? As they push through point 1.
Yeah, and Rai back on the torch is looking good. I think he was only kind of struggling on the torch versus specifically 100 Thieves comps whenever they had Terra on that Punisher, maybe also when 100 Thieves had Vinny on the Groot. So a lot of these things sort of dictate how good the Human Torch can be. But right now against the dive comps, I mean, I think Rai's playing it pretty well. He's marking Vinny's dives, making sure he's never comfortable to go alongside Delena. So I think that sort of tandem has been annoying for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I'm with you. Ooh, Feast is coming soon. No, electing to wait on it. Doesn't need to use it yet. Forcing out some cooldowns as they use that dive right there. Pulling out crystals is a huge win. Now they dive for free. That is the thought process as they prep again. And now Nectar uses all. They combo up. Out goes the... Oh, not the Feast yet. Instead, just the initiation. TTK on the tackle. Techie now using the Feast. But Terra finds Nectar. Puts an end to that. Crimzo on SJP. Crimzo from downtown again with another takedown. Another KO as Harvey goes down. Terra going to try to find more. Does get the reset, but will it be enough? Terra going to find Techie. Nice work there, but turned right around as Crimzo finds Terra.
Yeah, they're slowly getting towards the very end of this point. 2 minutes left to go. Kraken impact was big, but didn't win them the fight, unfortunately. Now here comes the tanks towards this cart. Vinny, Techie, or sorry, TTK getting a bunch of healing as well coming in from their Loki and their Cloak and Dagger. Another big fight coming up. So many ultimates on the board. Currently, Sentinels will be able to sustain with their Stratus ultimates, but on the other side, 100 Thieves have even more on their side as well.
Rai Amazing taking the space is going to have that Supernova very soon. TTK initiating great shield there to essentially negate the Psionic Seduction, trying to buy time. Terra, what do you know, finds another with the heady on the back line of Aramori. Kurova pops ult. Aramori goes down with that ult. That's an unfortunate takedown. Rai Amazing there with Supernova. Vinny is holding on. SJP uses ult there. Harvey is going to have it if need be after the fact. 100 Thieves defending well with a minute and 12 on in a very defensible position on that corner hold.
And this is the tough part against Psionic Seduction when you have a Bucky on the other side. Free headshots onto Aramori brought in because of the thighs. So into this fight, huge fence created by Rai Amazing, going in with the Supernova now.
And what a pick again by Rai Amazing. Oh, and this is why Torch is banned out. So strong, dealing so much burst damage. Good idea there by Crimzo, almost 3 in a row, but not going to work. Great cape again by Harvey, who's just using that in such good value. Terra going to drop back, reset as a team. They don't need to touch till the final meter. No reason to send it too early. As here we go again. Techie getting ready to use that Feast of the Abyss. And will they combo up again with Nectar? Oh, Techie goes down though from Vinny. 30 seconds on, should have time to come back. Team might retreat here. Selena, or excuse me, Nectar electing to use that ult though. SJP finds Rai Amazing. It's so back and forth, like you say, SJP making that switch and actually playing. I was almost at Harvey out of instinct, but it is actually SJP on the Loki. Terra on the Nectar. 3. Terra cannot be stopped with 4. And takes out another clone. This guy is a monster.
Absolute freak of nature. Techie, can he even touch on the Venom? No answer there for them. Sentinels get stopped in the second phase and ship.
At the end there, Techie, I don't think he really even played wrong. I think that dive was correct. Wanted to go in there with Nectar on ult, but unfortunately, got got bursted down by that backline in a millisecond, just had no reaction, and unfortunately got KO'd with ult in hand. It's just a tough look. So well played by 100 Thieves backline. It's just on top of each other here with Terra, who's playing a mean defense. If you're having struggles with dive, do what you're seeing here. Teams, learn from these teams. Terra just dancing on the backline, protecting everyone and never leaving their side. And as I say that, he jumps off the top, but he's going to come right back. Don't you worry, as he keeps eyes up on the person that is diving towards his backline strats.
They're going for like this full dive sort of competition as well. Rymazing onto that Star-Lord. A lot of pressure coming through the front. They don't have the Adam Warlock team up alongside it. It may not matter. I mean, Rymazing on the Star-Lord instead. We see this also in EMEA as well with Tanuki. A lot of, like, loves to play that Star-Lord even with that team up, but it can be tough at times.
You know what? A little bit more of a slept-on team up there with Cap and Winter Soldier, electing to keep using that to dash towards his backline whenever they're in trouble. Another way of getting back there without having to utilize his E. So that's actually big brain. It's something I never really thought about, but I'm seeing it here in utilization. Terra, what do you know? A reset on a Kurova by Aramori and Crimzo. That's 3. Why not make it 4 and 5? Good dash out to not allow the reset, but still gets the pick. Terra with a penta. And yes, you may be saying last time during MVPs, one of the things I didn't touch on, you saw a Hexa, and then after that, the game doesn't even give you any more sus. It just says, whoa. On the bottom right, it's like, this is just different at this point. I don't even know how many more numbers we can count up to. On the bottom right, Hexa is the peak. So well done again with a 5-piece here by Terra.
And this is exactly why a lot of people, argue for Terra being the most valuable player in the region. He has that flexibility. He's been playing a lot of Bucky in the series, but able to swap off Wolverine, BP, Winter Soldier. He has everything in his back pocket, and right now he's making it work. Sentinels now coming through with ult still on the defensive side.
Rymazing in the sky and tries to get this out. Haven't seen a ton of Rymazing on Star-Lord here. They aren't going to fully shift up. Actually, yeah, they're not going to fully shift up to Guardians because we did see that ban there on Mantis. Very smart play there by 100 Thieves and their coach, who really thought through this ban phase after losing that domination. Do not want to lose again. Vinny trying to keep the aggression on. Delena finds 2 on a Crimson Aramori, and they are getting so much value in these neutrals prior to these ults getting used, and that is another pick, and out goes the dance floor by Sentinels. And you notice there, Kurova, very big brain play. If you're using that ultimate, you might as well go right to the point. Don't let it move.
I mean, they do lose SJP to Nectar, but I think at this point they might be a little tilted, right? I feel like maybe they didn't think they needed to use Strategist ultimates against Capel, but you kind of do sometimes. That character is just another strategist. It just feels like it at times. So Vinny keeping the team alive with his ult. Also now into this fight, they have a pretty big advantage. Kurova also committing the dance world, or the Fate of the Worlds, is brutal. Aramori needs to build up this Loki copy, but she's a little bit off right now, and 100 Thieves have all of the ultimates, everything in their hand. But Nectar, oh my god, what a pick on Delena.
Yeah, that's what you needed. We need a momentum shift here. Oh, and there it is. Crimzo with a 2-piece out of the backline. Goodbye, Terra and SJP. And that's what you get for protecting your backline. Those meteors get more threatening when you're standing right next to a strat. Harvey gonna find Aramori though and try to trade this back. Look at this offensive cloak going right to the backline. Vinny takes out Techie. What? TTK on a Nectar. Are they gonna win this fight? Crimzo finding Vinny. And we do see Rymazing fall, who is now playing that Bucky as well. Delena. Kurova. Oh my goodness. They push right through. 100 Thieves win that fight. I did not anticipate that by any means. Possible. And Cloak just to use that Dagger Storm and just keep your team up as much as you possibly can for as long as possible so they can keep their eyes forward. And we are seeing a ton of success. It's even worse into Punisher, in my opinion, though. Bucky, obviously, a lot of raw damage, but, you can't get the pull off, and that's some value there. But it's just, you can get so much ult charge on anything who's just has no way of shielding. Yeah, I can do that damage reduction, but it doesn't do much for you just peppering into him with the Shoddy and the AR and having that, final judgment almost immediately. I always hate going against Punisher, but yes, Bucky as well, for sure. Rymazing, though, going to be on Iron Man, this is a much better Iron Man map with this neutral cover here in the center.
Yeah, and I wonder as well with the getting rid of, oh my god, in the sky with the pack. Oh no, got him eliminated as well.
That's brutal.
There's no Loki crystals, right? So that's the difficulty of this comp, is that you can't really save somebody who gets, picked off like that, right? Shib, it just feels like Vinny was not in a savable situation. And also, Shib, another thing, Psylocke is insane on this map. So this is probably the scariest map to give Nectar this hero.
Yeah, I like the change, and I like the ban change for Sentinels. They're definitely learning. I do think this is going to put Nectar in a very good spot for a ton of value. I think Vinny there with that jump obviously was accidental, put himself in a dangerous position. Maybe it was on purpose to use that cover, but did, ultimately turn into him just getting exploded. Kurova onto SJP. Little dance floor violence there. Techie onto Terra. Nectar onto Harvey. Delena turns it around on Rymazing in the sky, though, with that hit scan. More difficult to juke there with Iron Man than it is with something like Human Torch. Nectar, though, again, again on Delena. And Sentinels are looking up here on Domination once again.
Yep, good calls there from the side of his team to point out Delena's on that flank. He found one. Wasn't enough to keep it going. And this is what we're talking about. This is what Rymazing was mentioning with Nectar, right? Nectar's on the flank, ready to go for those dives. Rymazing then pops his E, aka his overcharge, and then just has the follow-up damage onto a backline, so they're able to eliminate them without any of those crystals. So that target of the Loki ban as well is disrupting the backline of 100 Thieves right now.
And here we go. Nectar with the Cutterfly, not able to land much. And we see TTK out of Crimzo. SJP now on a Rymazing. And that is pretty much a hit scan. It is a hit scan in their own right. SJP there on a Rymazing with a nice pick. Terra trying to follow up here with the Kraken impact. Not able to get much just yet. He's going to try to get this pull, and there we go again. TTK now pulling out the Psionic Seduction. Team's going to follow up and find a few and try to take this point, but already 82% here for Sentinels, who will have some ults, but not enough to outmatch 100 Thieves. We'll have more in this next fight.
Yeah, that was interesting. Usually we don't see an early dance of the butterflies by Nectar there or Psylocks in general. Usually, you kind of wait for the other strategist or the strategist ultimates to run out. Sometimes you can find those eliminations as well as you have if you do have Rymazing, over the top with the overdrive connecting on those shots, but it's definitely a lot harder than other synergies in this case. SJP holding onto the dance floor as well in this fight. Aramori with their own copy, so we'll see that be in huge use, but Delena is able to sit this high, and Vinny also has a massive ult available. Techie gets deleted.
Wow, that was so quick. That is brutal in terms of damage there. Delena on the high side now. Going to just put some extra damage. Delena, a mean Hela. One of the names when you think of Hela in general. Delena potentially at the top of that list. Vinny going to set up here. This is a great group map for that reason. Does force you to burn those quickly, which they will do, but does buy some time there. Was Rymazing is going to have this all the pulse. Will it find value this time? Honestly, very difficult to find value unless you have something like a dance floor out so you can stay on the low ground and have that all pop quickly.
Yeah, definitely possible. Hook coming out, misses for Terra, but ult still available for Sentinels. Ready to go on that dive from Nectar. Uses that team up with that Emma and just disrupts this backline. Here comes the pulse.
Oh, does a ton of damage, and that's worth right there. That is a picket on TTK due to the raw damage there from the pulse, and there goes the clobbering. Nectar finds two, just unleashed here with the team up Psylocke. Down go more, and this will force a portal in, and TTK is prepping here on Doctor Strange.
Yeah, setting that up, ready to go back in this fight. They're able to sustain as well. Potentially if Harvey uses the open, no. Nectar, follow up, 2 damage. Also, portal potentially going to come through later on. Waiting for everybody to respawn again, Chip. Oh, this goes early.
Here comes the portal early. Karova on a Terra, Nectar on SJP, and they won't have numbers here. I don't think it's a little bit too early, in my opinion, here. As Harvey is going to initiate, and that is wise. They do have this ult up.
Yeah, that, and maybe he doesn't want to get frozen because all of his team is going down, so there's a lot of definite mind games here. Rymazing over the high ground. Speaking of mind games, ready to go with the giant pulse.
Techie finds Harvey early. Nice carbon crush there, followed up with a few punches. Nectar gonna try to find a pick, not able to do so. Techie gonna walk directly at the back line there. Oh, what a good play there to find value. You do not care about overcommitting. You want this map early. Turn the tides back in your favor. Crimzo on a TTK. Down goes Vinny, and that should be it, as they will not be able to teleport back.
And this is also what I was talking about, how not banning Torch has given them so much more room.
Much escape route with verticality and with off angles, and you just can't get the pull there, especially when the burst potential is increased tenfold with the double clone there by Nectar now with that team up. So you're just not getting a ton of value, and this is a good switch. You talk about leaving the Torch out. It's now going to be a battle in the sky, and we're going to get to see Terra in the sky and see how it fares here against the Ultra or the Iron Man. But there will be an Ultron pocket, which makes it even more deadly.
Absolutely. 2 people in the sky is going to be terrifying to deal with. Extermination coming out from Delena. Early ult built. Nectar. Huge focus right now. Can't find him. He's able to get to the dance floor as well. Stay alive.
That was insane movement. You got to show love there. What a dash. What invisibility. Karova's going to find the first pick on Delena right after that ultimate. So well played by Sentinels, who now have the momentum again. Rymazing onto Terra. That pocket is gone. And Nectar just tracking. Beautiful. Make that 3. Will they proceed? Yes, they will. And down goes TTK as well. Nectar is unleashed, and this will be banned out in the future, no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely, and I think the difficulty is they swapped Terra now over to that Punisher. I feel like the Human Torch playstyle is so different than what Terra is used to playing. That character sort of is like that hardcore assassin, similar to Psylocke, also a really good poker. So I mean, not that Terra is not bad at that sort of stuff, but I think that character requires a ton of focus on it. We can see even Human Torch one tricks over in North America, but most of them are pretty much removed from the tournament in Mellow and other really good Human Torch players like Self.
Karova is Himothy, another start pick. Nectar gonna take out Delena. Crimzo onto Terra. SJP onto Korova now, but it's matched right back with Techie and Crimzo again. And wow, this is gonna be another one of those starts where they're gonna be at like 80% before 100 Thieves even have the ability to take over.
Terra's now over to the Hela, and this is 100 Thieves' strength, right? This is what they kind of have to live and die by, this sort of Hela and Punisher at this point. And I think this all derives from the fact in the ban phase, they let Human Torch go through. I know a lot of people will kind of laugh when I say Human Torch is overrated. Right now, definitely seems to be the case as both teams have shied away from that character, even though it's unbanned.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty comes in when you have Korova, who's such a good hit scan strategist. You have, Rymazing in this guy, and also you have Nectar with the clones, and it does help a lot with that fly. And there's Rymazing. It does land, but it's not enough. They do follow up and find Delena in the back line, but Terra going to come in with the final judgment. Isn't enough here. Will they find value? Good hiding there. Great positioning. Oh, wow. And the dash out. That was beautiful. As you see the thing there playing off the ulti from Korova. And that was a good dash and retake, as they do not have the point, and we will see 99% Crimzo. Nectar down go two more. This could be it. 100-0 taking another domination. Can they get the job done here? They do, and that is enough. And this will end slowly but surely as Sentinels show up and say the game's not over yet. Oh, the teleport comes through though from Delena. I spoke too soon, but not enough to touch.
And Chip, this is what we were talking about the whole time.
Terra on Wolverine, man. Dude, it will be insane to watch.
I just loved how Terra was like, oh yeah, Wolverines are Bucky in there. It literally an interview today is like, oh, Bucky's only...
It's a great little play on words there. I don't think I've seen a composition that has really shut it down yet. You know what I mean? I want to see that because I'm curious what the answer is. Me personally, I ban Wolverine like it's my job. So I will never see that.
Every time Shib does not want Wolverine, make sure if you're in his ranked games... Let them play Wolverine. Just say.
yeah. Well, I just want to play the game. You know how it is when you're a Vanguard. You just get tackled off cooldown. But here we go again. Nectar on the height here, just trying to hold and buy some time. They're not going to do that triple Vanguard strategy off the rip. They do want to hold on to that Guardians Cup, and we've seen a lot of success with the triple Vanguard. I know, honestly, they probably just can't due to all the Vanguard bans, so I guess that is why, but we've seen a ton of success with that throughout this tournament. As we do hold around this first choke, this is a standard position, guarantees at least 2 fights, but if they teleport back, could get 3 quickly. Aramori gonna keep the heals up. Already 81% as Rymazing and the whole line of Sentinels have ult insanely quickly. We see now Terra dealing a ton of damage, only at 38 to that last stand. Fine time and holding the high angle, and here comes Aramori with some damage. Alena gonna find Nectar, now run right back as the numbers are up for 100 Thieves on the attack, but great work by Aramori to slow that pace with the Eternal Bot.
Yeah, I thought they were in a bad situation until Terra had that pick. Now here comes that seduction from TTK, just slowing down everybody. And Harvey also finds Korova, who's going to need to use that self-res.
Yeah, such good positioning there by TTK. I want to call that out for those who are trying to climb ladder. Always try to find height. Forcing eyes upward, shields upward, making them look in a different direction or they get trance is huge, and that's what you need to do. Wow. Delena, great work here in the sky. Going to find a 2P. TTK going to clean that up and get 2 more, and that is enough for them to shove through this first corner.
Hey, Delena's finding that kill on Adam Warlock, just letting everybody know maybe Hela is the original Adam Warlock, right? I know a lot of people talk about how just play Adam Warlock instead of Hela. It feels like at times Adam Warlock is a better version of Hela because you can self-heal, but both, relying on that hit scan with the left clicks. Right now, 100 Thieves using so many ults in the last fight, though, Shib. And Sentinels, they have a bank, dude.
Yeah, this is... They've got ults up. They'll likely be an advantage in this next fight, right? Nectar holding the height just consistently up here. Yeah, and there it goes. I know it's coming soon. Going to try to pop that passive there, but is not able to do so. Just going to essentially take the space with this ult, force them into a corner, and that is not going to get a ton of value. Great movement there by 100 Thieves, and Nectar was almost forced to use it there just by the dive from Terra. And here comes the trance from Techie, but the Psionic Seduction finds one. Can they clean it up? Onto Terra, they cannot.
I mean, that character basically is a tank with how long you can live on Wolverine. Also, TTK still going ham on this front line on the Emma Frost, just able to do so much work. Korova, though, with the big res to bring everybody back.
Yeah, that is huge. The entirety of the team is back. TTK found like 4 in that fight. Shout out there with great work on Emma. Going to use this ult to try to find the reverse. Yep, right on Techie. Not going to be enough damage to burn down just yet unless the whole team focuses, which they do. Terra drops Techie. Nectar goes down from Delena, and that is a huge start again for 100 Thieves. Aramori going to have to stall. It's just unfortunate. Forced to use that ult to stall and try to get the team back every time, and it's just kind of out of her hands. Those picks are just too clean, too early. Terra with the tackle from downtown. Last stand. TTK cleans up Aramori. They're going to find Korova, who will res back up as the teleport comes through. Will it be enough? Techie goes down too. Jeez, crow. Terra on this Wolverine.
I think that the thing is, Sentinels are so good at stalling this objective. That's the benefit of running triple strategist, no matter whatever it is, right? If you can just live, play the objective, keep your vanguards alive, that's huge. But the problem is winning fights can be kind of hard, right? That's the difficulty, especially against 100 Thieves, who now has a Rocket Raccoon. I love this pick, by the way, because a lot of people tend to underrate Rocket Raccoon, thinking, okay, this character's ult's not that good. The big thing is the BRB. If you're not against the Captain America or a Psylocke or somebody who can exclusively... Okay, switching off it. All right, well, never mind. This is a hot take for me anyways. I give up.
No, I think it's a good call out. I mean, I do agree with you on that. Honestly, I really do. But there is the height again from Terra, keeping the pressure on. I got to show some love here to Delena. There's been like 2 or 3 fights that Delena has found the initial pick there, and the team just snowballs off it. Although the res comp is here, it's difficult to press through. He's just absolutely popping off there. And then Terra up close and personal there with Wolverine, cleaning up all of those and just being a menace for everyone on the front lines. Nectar keep trying to take these off angles, and I do like what I'm seeing. Delena not even seeing Nectar on that flank, but doesn't need to. Up in the sky now with the Goddess of Death, trying to put some damage on the Techie, and that is some good work there. So much raw damage, gonna break down this structure to try to shoot through it. And there goes the res almost in the opposition side of the fight. It's going to be through the building. Here comes Nectar now. Going to keep that pace up. Does use that Galactic Legend, but the bubble's there to keep the team healthy, and that's just a ton of alt charge. Unfortunately, as out goes the invisible boundary. Not quite sure if they needed it. Delena going to find Nectar. Crimzo going to fall from the side. I love these picks that I'm seeing here from Harvey on the cloak, and you can just play so aggressive when you use that all. Always stay in damage for him. Just allow your team to stay on that all. There's no reason not to, in my opinion. Terra going to find Kurova. SJP on the Nectar, and Delena again onto Aramori. This team is clinical right now, and this composition is so in their favor. They are just looking so at home.
And this is why I think Terra is one of the best players in the game. I don't think it's just sheer mechanics. It's more his game sense, constantly playing in the right position, able to just play slow and patiently. And that's what you have to do in this game compared to other hero shooters. I think while you do want to have like maximum APM and have shots like that, you do need to have good positioning as well.
And here comes another last stand opportunity. TTK trying to set that up here with the Psionic Seduction, and he does. There is 3 held here. Last stand. Tries, almost goes out. Doesn't end up using a good clobbering time there by Crimson to slow the pace. But at this point, they're in the danger zone. There is alt advantage here. Terra with a tackle. Do they find one? Right back onto Kurova. And that is going to be the pick that matters. That's a dangerous position. Delena once again back and forth with these duelists. Kurova going to res back, try to keep the team healthy. Does Kurova have ultimate? No, he does not. 63% will not be able to keep the team healthy right now on the point. 26 seconds left, but it looks like they will get, yes, they do. Point 2.
I think, you know, if 100 Thieves fully cap out, I think Sentinels need to take a page out of 100 Thieves' book. Target one of the vanguards, whether that be Vinny, whether that be TTK. Trying to kind of exclusively remove their hero pool, I think, could be a viable option for Sentinels because it's worked for 100 Thieves so far. I don't see how it couldn't work for them, too. Just removing some of Vinny's heroes, maybe getting rid of this Captain America. We've seen how good it is, especially since you know how strong Captain America is because Crimzo plays it so much, you would think they would want to remove it. And look who's abducted. It's Kurova again.
These 1-2 punches here by Delena and Terra are so clean. It's been so consistent too, man. You gotta show it some love. And here comes the Eternal Bond initiation here by Aramori. This is gonna give them time to press through on the invis. Techie gonna find SJP through that. That's a great pick. What do you know, Terra with the last time not getting too much value there. Good job by the side of Sentinels to stay healthy. I believe the bond was used there to keep them up. Kurova now gonna have that res, and we see Amazing now popping Mantis, keeping the team up and using that speed to press forward here with Nectar. Nectar gonna find one. Ooh, I lied as they were hidden from that natural cover. Way to stay tight on that walkway there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job just staying in that Cloak and Dagger's abilities. I think the backline of 100 Thieves, 100% doing a great job in this series as everybody's trying to come in, and eventually you get the good clobbering time from Crimzo. Find SJP in his spawn, but eventually as well, Delena's going to fall. So right now, since someone's trying to up the pace, 30 seconds left as well. With these ultimates gone, 100 Thieves are kind of building that time bank, but they're running out of time, or that ult bank, but they're running out of time.
Yeah, that's a pick there on Delena. Going to rest back, and the team is going to reset. Sentinels looking all right now. 18 seconds on. Remember, plenty of time here. They've got at least 2 holds, so they're feeling a little more confident. Terra on a Nectar, though. Delena, what do you know? Again, 1-2 punch. Delena gets 2. TTK on Aramori. Reses go out, though. Everybody going to try to get this touch here to hold on before they can keep this push going. Aramori now initiation. That's a great combination. They seemingly keep doing that. The res immediately in the bond. It is very difficult to get out, but here comes the tackle. It does not press through, though. Great work to bring that bond out the door. Just kind of knowing the tackle might go that direction. Potentially, that is some big brain play. Harvey gonna find Kurova. Aramori goes down. Nectar reses. Kurova reses. Delena finds 2. Terra on to Amazing. SJP finds 2. And now they're going to press through with ult advantage and no time on overtime. So the Sentinels only have one here. They might have two with Nectar, but wow, 100 Thieves are up in ult advantage even after all of that.
Yeah, right now, I mean, pick potential still for 100 Thieves on top of ults right now. Oh, what a sleep, by the way. The only way they can really win this, I think, is that huge clobbering time. Maybe you get animation cancel out of an ultimate from SJP or TTK.
Yeah, I think we're going to see an early initiation here. Yep, by Nectar. Good play in match. Oh, right off the point, I think. Oh, it just slowed. I thought I saw them drop off point or something there for a second with the way he was moving. And here's the height again. Ooh, immediately burned right down in the goddess. And it just did not get much value. Every single ult being used here for 100 Thieves. Down goes TTK. Nice retake here by Sentinels, but they are even now in numbers. Delena gonna find Korova. Crimzo on SJP. Delena on this flank is different. Terra on the Crimzo. These two are so good.
In the passive, and the Captain America, everybody's grouping around this payload, grouping around Vinny right now, and just nobody else is here on the cart. What a play from Delena. I mean, we saw that in a similar series with, because you go so deep in your backline and can find the BRB, so it's tough, but sometimes you can play Rocket Raccoon versus front-to-back comps.
Oh my goodness, this is insane. Goodbye, Nectar. That was disgusting. Yeah, a lot of teams are only really using Rocket, just to be honest, in these triple Vanguard compositions, which obviously not being seen right now. Instead, the other Vanguard's going to be Terra there on Wolverine. Might as well be a Vanguard. Amazing is going to be playing the Magic, though, and that's a two-piece. Let me see 3 Rye as he's popping off here now. Yes, that is 3. Amazing loves running Magic into these more Vanguard-heavy compositions. Showcased it last time, and it was valuable. And once again, a Quadra immediately going to switch off. That is Aura.
That is Aura. I mean, absolutely. And it gives it the Dark Child, unfortunately. That ultimate, you know, sometimes just kind of it just makes Magic. It's just good default. It's like the same exact thing, honestly. Like she has more like maybe maneuverability, survivability, but against the 100 Thieves, they're switching up the composition a little bit. And go back over to Vinny on that Captain America. Swap Delena off the Rocket Raccoon. That was honestly disgusting to see. Never want to see that again. But now on their attack, on their defense, 100 Thieves down in ultimates. They also, oh no, lose 10. Oh my God, Nectar just going aggressive on them while they're walking in.
That was Nectar's different right now. That's what you need. You need the momentum shift. Well done. I mean, yes, they took that fight, but it was still kind of difficult for them to get through. Nectar coming through, finding a 3-piece, looking for Cap now, setting up, as you notice, setting up those right clicks. Here comes the teleport shortly. This will be threatening no one on point. Backline going to be a little bit vulnerable if they can engage heavy with TTK on a carbon crush here, but no, not able to do that just yet. Amazing chasing down the Cap. Will he escape? Yes. Oh, maybe not. No. Amazing. Goodbye, Vinny. Good start to the fight there. Nectar going to place a ton of those right outside of the portal. Get ready to dash in if need be. Yes, it will come soon here. Terra goes down. Nectar, amazing, back in the sky. This is going to help against that Wolverine, and this is why they're running it. Very smart decision, as now we see the Psionic Seduction for the side of Techie, actually, excuse me, I thought it was 100 Thieves, and the tackle goes up, or yeah, the pop-up here by the anti-street charge on Crimzo. Out goes the Bond, Eternal Bond, going to slow things. Nectar, again, with 3, and yes, can play this torch. It's working out for him here for Sentinels, who want to keep this momentum forward with almost 2 minutes on.
Absolutely. I think out of both of these teams, Sentinels seems to be better at playing around the flyers. I mean, not that 100 Thieves can't play it, but really, yeah, Nectar is that Human Torch player. Same thing with Amazing whenever they could play it. Terra, though, I mean, we saw what he could do on the previous maps, but that was also on Central Park. Like, I feel like Central Park first point is one of the best points for Wolverine at taking down flyers. The hitbox in this map is a little bit higher up. Also, you know, that Wolverine is a little bit more obvious where it comes from. I think this middle phase is incredibly attacker-sided once you remove this middle building, but oh my gosh, Delena's found Nectar.
Yeah, I think, yeah, this map, after you push to that first point, I'm with you. It's more difficult to find value with Wolf, but on this map with this off, you know, this off map right to your right as they push up here shortly, there's right back to being very valuable again. But granted, they are running double flyers, so you need to get a perfect landing there to ensure they fall off map before they can take the sky again, which is a difficult thing to do, you know, on Wolverine, although I do think Wolverine's dash is hard to escape from, as you have to save your cooldowns. You got to play differently, and that's value no matter what. They're going to retake this space. Crimzo obviously going to be playing the thing, so we won't see a ton of pulls there. Can't get knocked around. Nectar once again taking that space with the right clicks, buying some time. Here comes the invisible boundary. Amazing out with Ultron's Rage. Techie finds one though. Down goes Vinny, and that's a nice start to this fight for the side of Sentinels, but 100 Thieves will have a ton of ults here for this next engagement.
Yeah, I think this is the best we've seen Nectar look on Human Torch so far in Sentinels are proud with their composition swaps, as well as Terra's entire value has been negated. This is what you do to counter the Wolverine. You play something like Invisible Woman with Kurova. You also have Nectar on the Human Torch, so you fly above him. The only real answer in the opposite side is Delena, but the problem is this Human Torch is always buffed by Firewall from Amazing. He's always going to be extra tanky because of that. Also, the team up with the Invisible Woman, so he gets even more overhealth. So there's so many things really resulting in Nectar's favor, and I think he's doing a great job alongside Amazing.
And the space is taken. 100 Thieves ult advantage here, but just barely, not for long. Tackle goes out. We do see the Psionic up in the sky with the Goddess.
Dude, the lamps, it blocks your left clicks. I remember that sometimes. Like, it like redirects them.
Oh, no way. I didn't even notice that. Oh, that makes sense. We didn't see any damage get poured out there, right? So we do engage again with we see immediate supernova. Tackle goes out. Good pull off there. And that is why you do want to have Kurova over here on Invis, trying to shut down Terra as much as possible. We see the space taken by Nectar. Here comes the Sonic Seduction again. Really good in the flyers. We see him walking. Ooh, amazing. Great work there. And aim to heal up the walking Nectar. Keep them progressing forward. Numbers back in their favor. Keeping the pressure on. Amazing going to try to challenge here. But there's a tackle by Terra. Down goes Crimzo. Is there more? And the tackle right back by the Carbon Crush. Amazing finds one. Nectar onto SJP. And the trades are real, but it looks like Sentinels are up just barely. Can they hold on? And will they get this point? Yes, they will. As they, oh no! Coming out from downtown. Another Eternal Bond to stall. Well played here by Harvey.
Yeah, I mean, but can they hold on? They have no more ults coming back. Vinny with the Capel is coming up. Everybody clobbering, time stun. Terra Cape is there to negate any value from Vinny. That was the only ultimate keeping him in this fight. And honestly, Shib, if I am a Delena after using that Goddess of Death, the first thing I'm doing to China, when I go to China, I'm gonna find the nearest like Chinese New Year store, and I'm gonna burn a lantern. I swear to God, because that thing was just an absolute death sentence for Delena in that ult.
Yeah, that's tough. It's a tough look, and it's one of those things you don't learn until you do it, right? Like it's just, or if you see someone do it. So there you go, everybody in the audience. Congrats, we've all learned something new today. Don't say you didn't when you come out of this stream. TTK gonna press forward on the left side. Sentinels again up in ults. TTK at 60, but SJP, Vinny, and soon to be. Oh, actually. No one else really that close, as we do see an immediate Psionic. Does it find a few? The shield go out. Nobody taking a ton of damage there. Well played by Vinny to dance around the team. Nectar with this off angle. You can actually, as you see here, fight through this crack in the wall. Very smart play and kind of dance around it. That's how fast Torch can be, using those very tight angles to play hyper aggro and then to collapse in when a moment is available. Good push there. Early on is to slow the pace by Kurova, who does have that invisible boundary should anything start happening. Wolverine now off the field because of how good Kurova is on an invis. If you have a nasty Wolverine, please make that switch. It's so valuable. Just save your push and pull. Nectar with a two-piece. Oh, I thought we were going to see more good dance floor there. The Fate of Both Worlds go out. Oh, and Crimzo and Harvey with Nectar. Just the coordinated damage drops Harvey through that dance floor. So well played. Amazing up with Ultron's Rage. A ton of damage out again. And then it's hard to take Amazing out of the sky there when that is going. You are CC immune. Nectar going to take this space, burn down Delena, who's trying to find more value. And now we see Terra back on Iron Fist, who loves playing Fist in these brawly engagement corners.
Yeah, absolutely. He's also playing it to try to counter the Sky Lords of Amazing and Nectar. Clobbering time from Crimzo gets grabbed by TTK. Delena does find Nectar as well, so they're sustaining right now. 100 Thieves are.
Yeah, one of the things you're going to see here when you're playing the thing, and 42 seconds on the clock, TTK gets one. Harvey, TTK again, Terra now sweeping them back. We're in 1 or 2 fight territory with the portal. If that, it is going to be more dangerous. But one of the things I wanted to say, that when you are playing the thing, when you're ulting, you get value out of forcing out ults because the thing can get his ult back incredibly quickly as long as you're in a team fight. The more that you punch with Haymaker, you can get multiple ults per fight as long as they're dancing inside of something like that Luna Snow ultimate. Stacking is huge for the thing, so use it off cooldown.
Well, last fight territory here, Shib. Great callouts by you, and Terra is ready to dive the sky of Amazing and his Human Torch.
And here we go again. Nectar now pressing forward. Terra going to start beating them up in the sky. Not using any cooldowns just yet. Don't need to. Dash going to use that shift to get out just like that. As you see, the kick, a great escape tool. Terra going to try to heal up, get some of that extra HP now and re-engage. I believe has ultimate, yes, and it is popped here. And here we go. And it's just raining on the front line. Terra trying to chase Ultron. Does find one. Down goes Aramori. Nectar. Tucky. Everyone's falling now. Terra onto Amazing. Vinny is going to find Crimzo, and that should do it. What a hold to shut him down before point 3.
Holy crap, Hulk. That's honestly how you feel as Sentinels right now. You had both shredded his ultimates.
Mention the nerfs. This is even more through the roof.
Wait, And I didn't even realize this is actually so smart by Sentinels, actually, because they let the Wolverine through. They make that kind of available for Crimzo, and we'll see if Sentinels can react to that in the sky with Rymazing and Nectar. But we've seen Terra on this map and on Central Park, so this is definitely a ballsy play from Sentinels right now.
Yeah, if you're an Invis, immediate switch there from Crimzo. I think saw the Wolverine. My thought was that Kurova would be on push and pull duty, but immediately Crimzo going to go right back to the thing, and I like to not even try it off the rip, which I don't mind.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is they're going to go back and forth. They're going to see Terra go to Iron Fist, Crimzo goes back to Groot. That's probably what we're going to see.
Exactly. No, that's a great call. We're going to be seeing a little bit of a checkers match, soon to be potentially chess if we get more heroes involved here. Rymazing and Nectar again unleashed here. They found a lot of success with those flyers, but like I said, it's so difficult to get through point 3. It's not like they didn't do their job on attack. It's just that they did not hold on defense, right? That's the thought process here. But Terra here on this Wolverine on this map specifically is dangerous. TTK finds Nectar early, and they're up in numbers. Delena now putting a ton of damage out. As you see, the front line looking weak. They're going to keep that pressure on. Out goes that cloak, and down goes Rymazing again. 100 Thieves on this defense looking clean, and out goes that invisible boundary to slow up the pace a little bit.
Yep, slow him down. Also down Rymazing in this fight. TTK with another one on Armory, and TTK going absolutely insane. These Vanguards, again, from 100 Thieves are doing a lot. And personally, that's why I think you maybe got to ban out some of the Vanguards from 100 Thieves. It just feels like they're doing so much outside of, the overall team fight. Same things for Techie, but I don't know. I mean, there's a lot you have to worry about now. I mean, Terra has the entire hero pool open to him. And right now, there's 1 minute and 30 seconds off the clock.
And here we go again. The next fight begins. You look over, alts on both sides are insane. We're going to see 4 on both, soon to be 5 there for both. It's all about who gets the first pick. This value is immense. Out goes that invisible boundary. Making them use that first is good there for Sentinels, but they got to match it before someone goes down. Delena getting walked through. That ultimate is going to be found. Nectar, well done to collapse on that. It's all about targeted damage. Rymazing on the Terra. Vinny finds Kurova, but at this point, numbers are up heavy here for Sentinels on attack, and they've got to keep this momentum. Out goes the Supernova. A ton of damage out, but great positioning here from the back line and front line of 100 Thieves. We're just buying time. They don't need to, what you need to notice here, folks, see how they're giving ticks. They don't need to panic as long as you touch at the very end. And then we see Terra take out Techie. Nectar, though, with a 2-piece on a Harvey and SJP. And that's a double strategist pick. That is massive. And they're going to go back and reset. I think they might give them point. We'll find out shortly. Maybe not. The retake just going back to heal up. So smart. Still going to find 1. Oh, my goodness. Out goes the bond. And it keeps everyone healthy. What is going on? This is insane. And now TTK finds a pick.
Are you kidding me? Harvey was about to fall, but then just pops the ult at the very last second. Now here comes Rymazing in the opposite side with Ultron's Rage.
That was so close. Rymazing, though, does find 1. Crimzo is going to get SJP, and then we see Delena is going to pop out with an ult. Doesn't get value. No, Nectar takes out Terra, and that is a lot. That is a lot of value here for Sentinels. Ults up for 100 Thieves, but they're both down right now in the spawn door with those ults, and that should be enough to clean it up. Well done there by Sentinels, but what a retake in that moment. You're right, man. I saw Harvey at literal 1 HP. I thought it was guaranteed KO, and that Eternal Bond bought this some time for sure.
Yep, incredible fights from Sentinels, and I just feel so impressed with Nectar right now. I think he's given a lot of resources, obviously, with the Ultron, but right now, I mean, this guy's stepping up for the team in the biggest tournament, this rookie for Team Sentinels, coming through in the clutch when it matters most over, veterans in the Marvel Rivals esports scene with 100 Thieves and Terra.
And again, owning this height, this is a very good positioning here for Flyers, as natural cover cannot be broken there. Out immediately goes the invisible boundary, which is good value. Terra, oh, that would have been disgusting. That was a crazy attempt to try to get one of the Flyers out of the sky. Still going to press right back into the back line, and that's a good ult there by Vinny. But once again, good counter right back there from the side of Aramori with those crystals to keep the team healthy even through that ultimate. But forcing out some cooldowns there. Crimzo going to have a Techie, going to use the Psionic. Does it find anything? It does get... What? Are you kidding me? Wolverine almost walking, uses that ult right prior and perfect cancellation. iframe from using the ult alone. Wow. What a tackle. Does not get any picks, though, as the teams are still battling back and forth. Dead even on both sides. This is wild to witness, but TTK goes down. Crimzo finds 1. Keeping the pressure forward. Techie looking for the back line now. That is a good play. Gets knocked back there a little bit, and they do keep moving.
Yeah, right now they're just staggering 100 Thieves out. Delena also was all the way back at his own graveyard trying to just live, do his Delena stuff, those hard flanks, and it didn't pan out this time. Back to the spawn he'll go. The Goddess of Death is going to come in late from him. Sentinels as well have clobbering time on the re-engage.
That's a good crystal pop there. The most damage you can do with them in this moment on this current patch is actually pull crystal and burn through it with 100 charge. It'll massively impact the health of the Vanguards. Nectar gonna find TTK and Terra though, and that is good. 3 for Delena. Can Nectar keep going? Feel different right now in the sky.
I mean, this guy is incredible. I mean, Nectar, I think, has played a very good Psylocke at times on Solar 2. Right now, he is absolutely popping off, making sure Sentinels can get to that third phase of the map. Terra now goes over to the Winter Soldier. That's the idea for him, needing to delete Crimzo, get rid of Techie. The difficulty is that now there's that Emma Frost on the field, and Techie, I think, as well, has been doing so much work on that character. I mean, same thing for TTK, but that's just how strong Emma Frost is. Right now, Sentinels taking advantage of having these two characters, and also Terra on the low ground. He thinks the idea is just to melt Crimzo.
Up we go. Ultron's Rage once again, just pulling out some cooldowns if possible into that bubble. Ooh, and this is going to be nice, but it's matched right back. Well done there by the side of Harvey to keep them moving forward, giving them space. Notice pathing it down towards the direction they want to head, towards the point. Very smart play. Out goes that K2 to get some damage increase. Up from Delena with the Goddess. Does not manage to get much value. Clobbering time goes out. Don't see very many hit there, but Crimzo going to clean up Harvey. Crimzo does find value. Techie onto Terra now. Vinny dancing around the point with the thing, just trying to buy time, but does fall from Techie. Now Nectar on a TTK. Sentinels on this attack make it 2 as Nectar on this Human Torch. Oh, 3 is looking so good.
Going over to Punisher now, you can see 100 Thieves are looking for options. I mean, that can work as well. Vinny now over to the Captain America too. So they really want to set up Terra on that Punisher as well as Vinny just disrupt this backline. I mean, Nectar has been amazing. I think the real answer is maybe put Terra back to Iron Fist. Maybe Delena plays that Punisher or something along those lines. But right now, building up that ultimate fast.
Yeah, we do see Terra now on that Punisher. That is a mean seduction. Unfortunately, has to turn away to try to help the backline there. But you cannot be CC'd when you're in that diamond form. So Techie playing hyper aggro directly on the backline, buying them some free space. But here comes Terra with the final judgment. Starting to rain. Burning crystals first. Trying to take the space, but great positioning. Just drop back as a squad. Down goes 1 as they do lose Nectar there from Harvey.
A great pick. Now they're coming back in, though. Sentinels building up ultimate on the flank. Delena is there, but it's met by Ultron. Building up again. Terra, he's so good at just getting back in that turret, building ultimate. Rymazing in the sky, though. Ultron's Rage goes so low, but he's protected by his Invisible Woman.
And another, Ultron Rage, but good positioning behind that middle pillar there. Delena with a good off angle, but that is a very good defensible ultimate there by Korova. The invisible boundary, that could be enough. 2 on point. Can they keep the focus as Nectar just rains on Delena in the backline? Nice pick there. Crimzo finds CTK Aramori, and that is it. They push through all 3 with 25 on. Now it's all up to 100 Thieves to get this push and go into OT. It's a way if you do not have eyes on the hero the drone's on for 5 seconds. So they're playing together well. It honestly heals both of them as they play in each other's zone, and they play aggressively. But now Delena is going to be on the storm in the sky.
Yeah, this is a hard front-to-back comp for 100 Thieves. Sentinels so used to playing against it, but because of the poke damage coming through for them, Harvey, he's building towards that ult very fast. They'll have an internal bond first. We'll see what they do with it, considering Sentinels are also building ult quick to Ultron's Rage.
Terra on some good positioning here, just trying to build some charge. 50% on and climbing. Good positioning. Harvey already at 100. That is crazy. It's just got to play into that bubble. As you see, they're going to play aggressively with it. Shove them right to where they want to head as strategists. Do some small tick damage. Force them into that corner. Good tackle there by Techie. Damage boost goes out, and Harvey gets a pick with that ult. Followed up. Well done. And here comes Nectar trying to collapse. Just going to head back to the team to get that shield to keep the pressure. A lot of the times you'll see some of the best torches use it as a more defensive ability. Nectar on to Delena there to even the numbers. And here comes the the boundary to reset Nectar. As you see that drone enabling and the combination there with Invis. So you do get that shield. A very difficult hero to take out of the sky unless you have this final judgment, which is just shooting directly into the Invis. And it does not manage to get a pick. So good positioning as they play around that natural cover whenever they hear that call out.
Here comes Rymazing on the backside. Nothing to counter this one. Maybe make it 2 onto Vinny. Yep, into the wall. Kicked by Techie. And everybody else is back. Delena also had a portal back. Man, right now, Sentinels on this defense are looking so good. And Shib, honestly, I mean, it's like, I guess Terra can't go to Iron Fist because, nice shots from Rye, by the way, but the reason I think they can't go to Iron Fist, I imagine, is because of the Invisible Woman. I mean, Korova able to push him away, similar to what was happening on Wolverine. That's why he went to Bucky. That's why he's going to Punisher. So they don't have an answer right now to think Sentinels and what they're doing.
I agree. I think that Kurova is so good on Invis. I honestly thought that was going to happen last map there. I thought they were going to stick to Invis, but elected to not do that into the Wolverine. At least not from what I remember early on. So we do see the engagement here from TTK trying to pull them right into this. Ooh, those tornadoes. Harvey finds Kurova, and now they're up. SJP on a Techie, and this is the fight they needed. Still have 140 on the clock, so plenty of time as 3 go down. Teleport likely coming through as they, ooh, they can't, excuse me. They do get the point. Well done here by 100 Thieves.
Yeah, well done from them. We'll see how they can continue on to this reach phase of the map. I mean, this is where Delena should do a little bit better. But also, I mean, Sentinels, they're so good around this playing around this height. They're also good at making another early fast fight around this right side alleyway. Look, they're all grouping up over there. They're going for a fast recontest on this payload.
Is that truly?
Oh man, and I gotta say it again. What a battle here. If you are a fan of Rivals, you must be a fan of this matchup. Almost dead even here in the finals as they're both heading to China, and there goes some ultimates. We do see the boundary up for defense. Vinny holding onto the strangling, waiting to make a play. You see how intense he is in the bottom right. That's a good all there, but immediately countered right back by Kurova. Still get value through it as Terra knows where they're gonna be lined up. Falls right down from Amazing with the Ultron's Rage. Hard to see where he is in that boundary. Way to play through that Amazing. Now dealing damage. Out goes the, I don't know if this is necessary as there's too much damage out by Delena. I like the idea, just too far down in numbers, I think, as Techie takes out Delena. SJP in a dangerous spot, goes down now too. Techie and Nectar cleaning up, and now it's just Terra who's running back to the spawn door.
Excellent fight again for Sentinels. 3 minutes left. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's won. Not. I don't know how he's alive there. Yeah, that's crazy. No healers. It's just, it's tough.
That is crazy. How did he not get picked there? That is nutty. Oh, that's brutal. But here we go. Nectar, again, already has all. It's coming back so quickly here. Harvey going to be ready for 100 Thieves to counter. Techie, Crimzo, Aramori, and Nectar all ready. Kurova very close too. Ult advantage again for Sentinels. Do not overcommit. There goes 2 as 2 go out. There is that invisible boundary to slow up the pace of 100 Thieves. You can use it more offensively as you're seeing here. You can use exact like that. They have no idea where the flyers are in that location. Nectar takes out Harvey. TTK now trying to turn this around, and that is an ult that maybe they wanted to drop back and not commit, but I do understand the patience here because Sentinels are doing a good job not overcommitting, so you need to try to make plays. So it's such a difficult conversation as to whether that needs to be used or not. TTK turning this corner. Terra now is going to elect to switch over, and we're going to see the Bucky again.
Yeah, I mean, he really wants to counter Crimzo on this backside, but yeah, immediately crack an impact countered. And I think, 2 minutes left to go, unless he has some crazy hooks. Oh, he brings in, oh no, he brings in Techie just to get grabbed. Nobody gone just yet from Sentinels. The Sentinels right now, though, the healing has been too good from our amazing crew.
Sentinels are looking really good on defense on this first point. This is such an early hold. This flight, this height that they're owning right here, playing around these ceilings, using this natural cover, and just getting ults off cooldown, it seems like, is insane. It's so difficult to push through. So look at this. They have not left this building the whole time, and they only come out when they're ready to engage Hefty or use one of those ults as the rest of the team playing around that natural cover on the left. The positioning here is next level. Keeping in mind as Nectar finds Terra. Techie onto SJP. Harvey in a dangerous spot now. 25. Oh, excuse me, 1 minute 15, not 125 on the clock as Nectar keeps owning again. Right, amazing on a TTK, but now 100 Thieves will have all advantage in this next fight. I lied because look, Crimzo, Right, amazing, Nectar, and Kurova all ready to ult again.
Yeah, they have so many ults ready to go. Delena, what's he doing? I mean, they're thinking about something here back in the spawn, maybe just grouping up. Delena's over to Ultron himself, so they're going to maybe switch back over towards that comp as well to match Sentinels.
And it begins here. Sentinels, it's a similar conversation. Can they win this fight without overcommitting? Because if they do, and here comes Nectar off the rip, and out goes Harvey using that Eternal Bond. We see nothing else committed for the side of 100 Thieves yet, but Nectar, Kurova, and Amazing all have committed. This would be good for 100 Thieves if they just wait this out. Use this counter ult here to just buy enough time for you to engage heavy as TTK does just that. Will they find enough picks? Techie, and then off angle, when you are also ulting as Emma, you are CC immune, so you actually can't get hold there. Nectar, SJB, and Delena. TTK onto Techie and Tekka. Oh my goodness. Techie, Terra onto Amazing, Crimzo onto Harvey. Terra again onto Aramori. Nectar with a quad. Soon do I see 5? I do. Oh my goodness, there's not enough time to touch.
Oh my, what a map from the Sentinels. An incredible performance from Nectar. 4-3 for 100 Thieves.
That's crazy.
One of us is going to be wrong here, buddy. One of us is going to be dead wrong.
I love it, though. We've been learning. You know what I mean? Our brackets have been. You know what I mean? We can do the dun-dun-dun. That's all I got. You know what I mean? Not much more than that as we begin fight one. And I honestly love this map. I think it's very much, in my opinion, I feel like, although it feels defensible in the beginning here, once you get walking, it's very offense coded, in my opinion. You seem to push through once you get through 2, almost guaranteed. But at this level of play, it's a different story. But talking ladder as you're climbing, and here we go. Amazing. Gonna be able to play that Iron Man and Nectar. Interesting. Gonna be on Bucky.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, map bans out of the way. Or sorry, map picks, hero bans out of the way. It's game 7, all on the line. I think the hero pool goes out the window. Now we see who the real kings are. And that early Kraken impact definitely sets up 100 Thieves. Techie's gone.
This is crazy. Terra, make it 2. Can I see more, Terra? Try them all. Right. 3, 4, 5. Oh, he is so different with this ultimate. It's almost a guaranteed clip every time. Come on now.
I don't know if Nectar has it in him. Is he the one to match against Terra? The squirrel is gone. Where did it go? I swear to God, every time that squirrel leaves, it turns into like a horror film. Where did that go? But regardless, right now, I am terrified of Terra. Nectar on his side. He's got his own Kraken impact. Can he go equally as large with Amazing in that maximum pulse?
A squirrel's waiting for you in your bedroom, hiding in the closet. Here comes an ultimate from Amazing. Gets 2 down. Harvey and Delena. Nice return, making 3. Amazing says it's not over yet. Let me hold on here on point 1 and forces them back to the door with ult advantage. That is a huge maximum pulse.
Game 7, ult for trades, or just back and forth. Rye with a yeet across the map, an absolute golf shot, putter shot, and a connected flush. 100 Thieves now have to walk back through 2 minutes off the clock, and they have good ultimate. Strangling Prison up. Crimzo as well does have his own Strangling Prison. Bear in mind, I believe Wolverine still got through, so we'll see what happens as the game progresses.
Oh my goodness, and here we go again. Nectar ready for this Kraken impact as well. Got to use it relatively soon, as Terra's already back again. Almost has it once more. You got to be aggressive with these. Obviously wasn't a great window for him to get that kind of value, but crazy how fast he can get these back, as Terra now has ult, and Nectar goes down. And that's tough to look at, as once again Terra gets 2. Come on, this guy is on one. Now heading towards the back line, waiting for some of this to go away. Cooldowns burn, forcing out more. Is gonna walk. Good turnaround there by Techie. Amazing with another ultimate onto Vinny, and 2 are down once more. That ult out for 100 Thieves. It may not have been worth it. Can they hold? Might have been too aggressive. Teleport comes through here for the side of Sentinels. Will now have their whole team on point. Ult only for Nectar, who still has that first ult. Gotta pop off here as soon as this goes down. Gotta stay on point, and you do see Crimzo here holding on. Out goes Nectar, trying to find some. Not able to get the same amount. Almost does. Just barely misses. Oh my goodness, almost with the reset there. And Terra, once again, saying this is my hero. Delena gonna fall. TTK on a Korova, and that should do it for point 1. It does.
I hate to say it, but Amazing looked like a future lawnmower right there. I mean, he just was a lumberjack. I don't know what to describe with that uni beam, just chopping the trees. Like we saw Terra POV with the Kraken impact going him, and then we switched to Amazing POV, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna burn these Groot walls, I guess. I mean, it's another day in Detroit, I guess, just mining these walls. So, you know, to be honest, I want to see Sentinels get a little bit more value out of this Iron Man upcoming in the second phase. That was still a good hold from them, but 100 Thieves in the open. Delena's always a problem. Also, Terra, whenever he had that Kraken impact, he's been terrifying as well.
Dude, this is what I want from a game 7. Just hype after hype, and it cannot be stopped. Amazing gonna walk in here with the bond, and that is terrifying when you can come in with a laser like that, playing on the low ground. That's what I'm talking about on those strategist ultimates. Nectar now finds SJP with a dome shot. That's gonna be huge. Out go Crystals though for the side of Sentinels, and that is value. Amazing gonna probably hide on the high side here, and as soon as they walk through, try to get that maximum pulse to land. I have no doubt in my mind that it will be aggressive, but the problem is it's difficult, as there is a ton of counters, but you only have 1 shield on the side of 100 Thieves right now, with Vinny being back on Groot. It's all about TTK getting that shield out, which can be a strong counter for the pulse, and that is a bond. Tries to throw it into the side. Oh, it's 1. Nectar makes it 2, and now Nectar's resetting. Do we see more up in the sky? We go. Hella gonna fall right back down, as Delena is gonna be Harvey just heading back to the spawner. No, I lied. Delena turns it on right. Amazing. TTK onto Nectar. And this fight is once again evened out. And I believe 100 Thieves have a clincher spawn. So they will be here, and they're walking forward now. Keeping the aggression. Down goes 2 more.
Yeah, I thought maybe they could turn it with Crimso and Techie, but without the Strategist, it's a tough spot to be in. The Terror Cape from Harvey connected pretty much onto everybody, and now we're entering the end of this second phase of the map. Not a lot of time in the bank, though, so if Sentinels can get a fight here, a fight would win here, that'd be big. But guess who has the ultimate again? It's Terra with the Kraken Impact.
Wow, this is so crazy. Techie now with ult here. Terra does have, like you said, that Kraken Impact, and that is very threatening if I'm on the side of Sentinels. It's all about Ryan Amazing trying to get that ult back quickly. Really does. And, you know, another one of those heroes alongside things like The Thing that can get that ult incredibly quick if you land those left clicks on a few people, especially if you have that empowered up. Terra can keep the pressure on, and here it comes through the crystals. Trying to reset off Clone. Does not do that. Tries to get away there from the Psionic, but does not. Good positioning by Techie, incredible off angle. It's Ryan Amazing finds Delena, and he's waiting for that Altazara. Mori now is going to copy up and keep it going forward. Playing low. Jarvis, send this to my wife. No, it does not work out as he does not get the landing. It is going to be reset, and ult is going to be utilized. TTK onto Nectar, and that is another pick again for 100 Thieves that are up with the dance floor.
Yeah, but they have to run away. I mean, this ultimate from Kurova is too big. It's too hard to come back into it. Maybe Terra, who built another Kraken Impact, comes back into Crimso, resets. Oh, here he's getting 2, make it 3, and everybody else is gone.
How is that possible? It's been seconds. How? This guy is, oh, what is going on? Terra, I told you, this guy is Wolverine, okay? He gets mad and just goes crazy, and it just always works like that. This guy is different. So well played by 100 Thieves, and what a take through on point 2. Oh my goodness. If I'm Team Sentinels, it's all about the next 2 fights now. Do not let them get point 3. Give yourself a chance to win this as we progress forward again.
I mean, this game is such an ult game, right? Marvel Rivals, this game specifically is just all about building those ults. I mean, Terra built 2 in that fight. He is so good at building ultimates in general. Now he's on to that Wolverine. Map changing, by the way, as this defense just broke everything to make it change. We'll see what happens with Terra on the Wolverine, because right now Rye's still in the sky, and he's beaming down everybody.
Nice. Nectar is going to start off with 1. Make that 2. Try to match this evenly. That's another. Waiting some time out here, looking for anyone in the back angle. Not able to find much more, but good play. Does drive them back without committing too much as no one else press the Q button. Right, Amazing holding on to that maximum pulse again.
33 seconds left on the clock. 100 Thieves only coming up on Harvey, Vinny, and SJP. So that's just quite a bit. And Delena with that Goddess of Death. Sentinels, they don't know they have the ult advantage right now. I'm pretty sure they assume 100 Thieves built it, so they're going to play slow. But Rye, he could be gross. He could be nasty. There's no Loki on the other side, so he can find an elimination as long as he gets through these shields.
Oh, and that's the combo. Emma's just got to try to lock them down, and then you throw out this pulse, which will happen. Oh, maybe not. Oh, okay. Just going to use it to counter out. That's not a bad idea at all. Good play there by Ryan Amazing, who does get strangling prison, though. Crimson still finds one through it, as Vinny is going to have to walk back. A tackle through, as we see the Wolverine now from Terra is out, and the last stand goes out. Not sure if it got much value through that Eternal Bond, keeping the pressure on a Groot, and Groot is now running. Great work there by Ryan Amazing to peel the Groot. Nectar onto SJP, and that's a huge pick too, but TTK is buying the space, and they're walking forward. Gets walled off. 100 HP in a dream. No, not for long. Nectar resets on 2. Make it 3. Nectar now popping off. What?
Are you kidding? Oh my goodness. I mean, he's just as good. He's just as good. High fives around. Hold comes from Sentinels in the 3rd phase.
Engage with that Eternal Bond always switches to damage, which is some advice I've seen from some of the top Cloak and Daggers. You use that ult, have your team just know that they can play safe on it and stay in damage form. Try to find value because you don't need to be healing. Your ult's doing plenty.
100%. That's a great call out. Both of these Cloak and Daggers that are in the lobby and doing so much for their teams. Rye pulls out the beam already, walls up on both sides, deleting so much wildlife and nature. I'm sure if we were talking about a different movie, that would be seen as a crime.
Right, amazing with a nice pick there on Vinny, and that's a good start. They're just kind of momentuming forward. There's just no stopping them right now. Well, the fact that they're going to have to drop back this early is a tough look here for the side of 100 Thieves. Are playing on their heels literally right now as Sentinels are keeping this pace up with a ton of time on the clock, and now they're in the danger zone. It's all about, can he clutch up? Right, amazing going to have an ult very soon, potentially first, which is crazy to beat out something like Cloak and Dagger on either side. Terra, what do you know, in a similar boat already has ult, and that is going to happen here soon. Try to get it before the strategist, but he may wait it out instead. We'll find out here shortly. Maximum pulse goes out. Does it land? It does not. Good idea. Force out some cooldowns. Does force them moving. Terra launches. Does find Right amazing immediately. Gonna wait it out as long as possible. You have 5 seconds more to utilize, and here it is. Bang. Gonna land and get a second. How is that possible through the bond? Terra and Nectar now. We got SJP. Crimzo on the Delena. They use the combination of the Strangling Prince and Nectar. Gonna take out Terra. Looking at the whole squad now onto Harvey. Harvey's gonna cloak away. Gonna keep that eye on and try to chase. See if we can get that reset. Very close to it. Oh, and does not get it. Very close, but Nectar want to play and way to take out Terra there, which I'm sure is in the discussion back and forth for whose Bucky's going to be more clean in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, job might be already done, though. I mean, they come back through SJP with the Fate of the Worlds, but you have Delena on the Hella. Hard flank, by the way, trying to get eyes off that objective. Coming also into the Goddess of Death. Everybody looking at it far away right now. In the sky, he's down to Terra.
And that is the great flank angle right there. Force everyone to turn around. Techie is going to find Delena, though, after the fact. Techie going to retake point. They are playing slow enough here. Ult advantage will be in their favor in this next fight. There's a minute 52. That is plenty of time here. They have nothing for 100 Thieves, but knowing Terra, that ult will be back incredibly quickly. I loved that flank there from Delena, who's now going to be on Iron Man. Of all things, here comes Right amazing, and that's going to buy space, but not enough as Cap jumps over Vinny. Very low on HP, not going to hold on for long. I see Strangling Prison now. Out go the walls. Kurova finds Delena here, and now Aramori on a TTK, and now Crimzo going to try to clean up. Right amazing, going to keep the pressure on point, and there goes another. SJP falls. Harvey falls. Nectar finds Aramori on a Vinny. Well played as they get point 1 and 4 minutes on for the second point.
Yep, tough take. And, you know, I don't think you could tell anybody last week that we would see Iron Man versus Iron Man and Bucky versus Bucky in the grand finals of North America. This is definitely insane that we're seeing this duo. Vinny off of the Groot. I actually don't mind that over to the Captain America. Though he doesn't have a lot of follow-up, I feel like just what he's been doing on Groot has not been, it's been good, but it's been hard versus Crimzo and Techie on his side. We'll see if the Captain America's change allows them to get maybe a little bit more pressure on this backline of Aramori and Kurova, because right now the backline without the Loki has been sort of at a disadvantage.
Okay, and the pressure is on once more. Here goes the bond on both sides. Terra gonna initiate, but gets taken out immediately, and that is a ton of value down. Goes, oh, actually turns to not use that ultimate. My apologies. It sounded like he was going to. I guess the cancellation was prior to it even being activated. Right, amazing though. Harvey, and another down goes Vinny. Oh my goodness, now Nectar with Kurova dropped Delena, and they are taking the space. Crimzo gonna set up walls for days, try to prep this next fight. Aramori, Right amazing, and Nectar. This is their alt chance. SJP though will have the dance floor, but it can be taken out here by the Iron Man. I think the ban phase has been huge for Sentinels. It allows Right amazing to have way less pressure on these alts. Nothing can stop him besides maybe Vinny Shield or TTK getting that shield out very quickly, but you know at this level of play he's positioning, so that is tough. Terra now gonna be back on Iron Fist of all things. They found a ton of success with this so far in the tournament. Vinny gonna start off with the Freedom Charge, go back towards the team, keep them healthy. Good positioning, great thought process there, but it is going to be a neutral. Nectar holding on Crimzo. Techie, the combination of Crimzo and Nectar very soon will begin, and here it is. Strangling Prison goes out, and it finds one. Delena goes down. Right amazing used all. Techie gonna find some. Crimzo on SJP, and oh my goodness, Sentinels, they do take point 2 unless, no way he 1v5s this. He's gonna have to retreat here. Yes, down goes Terra. They do get point 2. Oh my goodness, this could happen. It is going to be down to the wire, exactly as you would predict absolute cinema here.
Absolute cinema indeed. I mean, Right amazing, one of the best guys in the game in terms of his gameplay on Iron Man, right? This guy's tracking is just absolutely crazy. 100 Thieves, there's so many questions that they need to answer. Crimzo on Groot, in the sky with Right amazing. Is it that Iron Fist to counter him? Is it Terra on the Wolverine? Delena over to the Bucky. Maybe this will finally be the hero he can feel comfortable on, because they need him right now, especially with the only ultimate in the game besides Kurova building up towards that Eternal Bond.
Yeah, and here we go again, man. Of course, it comes down to one more fight. You know, they may be able to get a portal. Techie, no! Takes out Terra's Wolverine.